Hi Libra, this is Teresa from tarotbyt.com, and I'm getting ready to do your September Love TarotScope. Welcome to September. And first I want to call in some good energy for this reading. Create some sacred space around this reading. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for taking the time out to comment. I really appreciate the comments, and I read every single one of them. And so let's see what's going on for Libra for the month of September. What does Libra need to know about love and life for the month of September? Let's see before I do this. We're having a full moon in Pisces and a new moon in Virgo. Full moon in Pisces will be on September 6th, and the full moon and the new moon in Virgo will be on the 20th of September. And this is cutting across your 6th and 12th house axis. So it's about service and about dealing with blockages and things that are hidden, your unconscious. Clearing out whatever's holding you back, psychological blocks. It's a good time to really get in touch with yourself, to go deep and find out what you really need. And also to confront any health issues too, to have a new beginning where you take better care of your health and you stop sacrificing yourself too much where it's affecting your health, or stop working too much where it might be affecting your health. So anyway, what's going on? That's the short version of what's happening with the full moon and the new moon. You can read a more detailed version in the description. So, what does Libra need to know about love and anything else important for the month of September? The Eight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Two of Cups, Three of Swords, Three of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, the Tower. Okay, so for some of you, all right, the Eight of Pentacles in the present is, you might be working on something, maybe taking a different direction in your career or at the beginning. This is the Eight of Pentacles is the card of the apprentice. So you might be learning some new things in September. Maybe taking your career in a different direction where you're having to learn new things. And the King of Wands can represent a mentor or someone that you can go to for advice, someone who has a very strong personality, can be a little bit bossy at times, but has a big heart. And they are a good leader. Sometimes the King of Wands can represent fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So you might be, maybe you're forming some kind of partnership where you're going to be working closely with this person. In a relationship situation, it could be that you're at the beginning stages of something that you're just working on it. The Eight of Pentacles represents working on it. It represents doing something now that you may not see. It's not overnight success. It's something that's going to take time to develop. So you may not be seeing the fruits of your labor right now, but you will in the future if you keep it up. So this person can be, the card that crosses you can be a help or a hindrance depending on the situation. It seems like you've planted some seeds with the Seven of Pentacles in the past here. and you're waiting to see how they develop. So you're definitely focused on a project. You're working on something. In the past also, with the Nine of Pentacles, you've enjoyed a certain amount of success and a certain amount of financial stability. So this is a woman who's, you know, in her home. She has a beautiful home. She's feeling secure financially, but she's lonely. And she feels like she wants to share her success, her possessions with someone. She did. So that might have been you in the past. In the past, you might have had a lot of comforts, but you had no one to share them with. And this is changing. So you may have met someone and it's just at the beginning stages of a relationship and you're kind of working together or working on something. Because you have this Two of Cups in the future, which is it represents, you know, two people that really are very compatible. You see eye to eye. You're almost like soulmates. It's kind of like a soulmate connection. The only thing that concerns me is this Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords comes up when you feel victimized in some way, or you feel like you're dealing with someone's hostility. So for some of you, it could be that you're in a relationship and maybe other people around you are jealous, or not, or it could be a past love that maybe you left someone to be in this relationship and you're having to deal with that person's hostility. Or it could be people around you that don't approve of your relationship in some way. And another way it can play out is that you're involved with someone who has some issues that you just have to learn how to live with. Because the Five of Swords is a card of, on the one hand, you're feeling victimized. Someone has the upper hand in a situation, in a conflict. And there's nothing you can do about it, because if you fight back, someone wants to draw you into a drama. And if you fight back, you're both going to get hurt. So this is a card of either accepting the person or the situation for the way it is, or cutting your losses and moving on, because you can't fix it. You can't change. There are certain things in this situation you just can't change, especially when it involves a person's behavior. So if you're dealing with someone who's difficult, you have only two choices. You can deal with them and love that person with all their flaws and just accept this is how they are and I still love them. Or you can say, you know what, this is not for me. I don't like the way I'm being treated and I'm moving on. But in any case, and sometimes when the two falls next to a negative card like the Five of Swords, because swords usually bring a lot of mental tension and fives are instability. So there's this potential like something is disrupting the harmony that would normally be found in the Two of Cups. And it could be that there's an imbalance in the relationship somehow. There could be someone in your life that you have this imbalance in the giving, where you're either being the loving one and the other person's being difficult, or one of you is being difficult and one of you is being more loving, more giving. One of you is being a challenge. And so your choice, your decision in September is, do I keep dealing with this challenge? Do I keep feeling victimized and allowing myself to be victimized? Or do I just walk away and walk towards something that's better for me? And you have the Three of Swords here. So I feel like there's something, like you're hurting in some way with the Three of Swords. There are certain relationships that you may need to cut out of your life. Certain relationships that were once good and are no longer serving you. And so you've had to leave them behind. And you're feeling the sorrow of that with the Three of Swords. You're feeling like, so you could have had, another way this can play out is, you know, you may have had a fight with someone or a breakup. And so you're feeling that sense of loss. And that sense of imbalance. And there could be sometimes a third party when you have the Three of Cups here. Especially when it's surrounded by or next to the Three of Swords. Three of Cups usually represents, this is your environment, usually represents celebration, parties, births, showers, engagements. But when there's sorrow connected to the Three of Cups, there could be maybe some type of love triangle going on. So it could be that you're with someone, but there's someone else that's feeling left out. Maybe you're giving a lot of attention to this new love in your life, and there are other people around you that are feeling cut off or left out. And so you're dealing with the hostility. Because with the Five of Swords, you're always dealing with hostility. Someone is not playing nice or not being nice because they're hurting in some way. So even though on the one hand you're happy that you've met someone that you really connect with, and it's the beginning stages, and you're, you know, there's also this other sorrow connected with it, where you have to like kind of leave somebody behind to pursue this new relationship. And with the Three of Cups, you have support. There are people there that are supporting you. You have a good network, but at the same time, there could be a little bit of a jealousy going on too. So you're having to deal with that too. Now with the King, the Knight of Pentacles, that's someone in your wish fulfillment sector who is very down to earth and very dependable and a very hard worker. So it could be you working toward a goal and you're not afraid of the work. You're not afraid of hard work and you're willing to put in the time and the effort that it takes. Or it could be someone that you're involved in who is like that. And with, you know, you have these two court cards here. So one relationship is an established relationship, someone you've known a long time, and it could be the fire sign or the person with this strong presence. And the other person could be a newer relationship with maybe an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or if not earth sign, someone that's a little bit more conservative, a little bit more subdued. This person's a little bit more flamboyant, and the Knight of Pentacles is a little bit more traditional, quieter, hardworking, conservative. So those are the two energies that you might be dealing with. And it's possible that you're even trying to choose between two people. Maybe you're trying to decide, you know, do I stay in the relationship I'm in, or do I move to something new that I feel is I have some kind of connection with this person. But whatever you decide, if you decide that, there's some sorrow. You're going to have to leave someone behind, and it may not be that you're in a situation where you're cheating. It could be just that you connect with someone, you have a relationship, and maybe you just don't have time for some of these other people in your life, and you have to cut some things away because you just don't have time to be all things to all people. Especially, you know, with the moons coming up, activating the full moon activating your sixth house. Some type of service. You know, the sixth house is the house of work and sacrifice. Something is coming to an end. Some obligation, some karmic connection where you felt like you've had to sacrifice for someone is coming to an end. It's coming to a culmination. And it could have something to do with some kind of health problem. And then you have the new moon in Virgo, which is in your 12th house. And the 12th house, it's like having a new beginning. You can free yourself from a past karmic obligation. and have a new beginning. You can go deep inside and confront some of those hidden obstacles, because the 12th house can be the house of hidden enemies. It can be the house of self-undoing. How do I sabotage myself? How do I work against myself? You know, what blockages, what psychological blockages do I need to confront and overcome? What karmic situations do I need to release? It's a clearing out so that you can have a new beginning. Because the 12th house is kind of like, it's time to empty the garbage so that you can prepare for the first house experience, which will probably happen in October when you have when you have the new moon in Libra. So the reading ends with the Tower. So you might be worried about maybe some financial situation, some job situation. The Tower sometimes brings freedom, but it's usually a wake-up call where you suddenly see the truth about a situation and you know how to act. So the Tower, as an outcome, can also represent major change. Your life, you're kind of rebuilding your life from the ground up. So if some of you have ended a relationship, you've had to go through a lot of change to get to where you are today. You've had to give up a lot. You had to sacrifice a lot to be with this soulmate. Because the Tower is like a breaking down and a rebuilding. So for some of you, a relationship could be breaking down so that you could rebuild it in a better way. Or you might have met someone new and you've had to leave certain things behind to be in this new situation. It could also mean major changes in the career sector where a company is restructuring and you may be worried about job security. But one thing about the Tower, it releases you. It's a sense of release. Even though while you're going through it, it may feel like, disruptive. Because the Tower represents major change. And not everybody is comfortable with change. But the Tower is actually a blessing in disguise. So if you can be open to change and open to the new, and not be afraid to release what's no longer serving you, the Tower can represent kind of like a rebirth or fresh energy. It's kind of like a storm that comes through and blows away all the dead leaves and all the stagnant air. And then when the storm is over, the sun comes out and the air is fresh and clear and you can breathe again. So it's kind of like a wind that's going through your life and taking away whatever is no longer needed, whatever's been holding you back. And it may feel a little bit disruptive at first, but you will feel much better once you do this clearing, once you do this cleansing. It's kind of like a psychological karmic cleanse when the Tower shows up. It's just taking away what you don't need. So don't fight the change. Roll with the change. Meet the change halfway. Be an agent of change in your life. If you know that certain things you've put off need to be done, do them. Go meet that opportunity for change and for freedom and for release. The Tower releases people from oppression. If you feel like you've been living with this cloud hanging over you, the Tower will take it away. Or a sense of oppression where, I'm just struggling and I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. The Tower represents a breakthrough. Sometimes it could represent a breakdown if you're resisting it. So, how people will work and work and work and work and not take care of their health. And people saying you really need to take a vacation, you're just overdoing it. And they just, no, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And then all of a sudden they get sick. And they come down with the flu. And then they have to be in bed, they have to rest. Or they have an accident or something and break a leg. And then it's like, okay, I've got to stay still for 2 months. So it's much better to be the agent of change than the victim of change. And to recognize when things need to change and move along that path with excitement instead of fear. Some people fear change and then they wait until it becomes almost forced on them by circumstance. So the Tower also can bring up certain truths. And usually around a full moon, truths will come out. So you may find, if you haven't been, you really need to, because the 6th house is involved in the astrology, you really should take care of your health. If you need rest, you should rest. If you've been overworking and over-serving, trying to make everybody happy, this could be a time, a wake-up call where you say, okay, I need to rest. Or I need to take care of this problem that I've put off for too long. Whether it's a health problem, or a relationship problem, or a career problem, something needs to be cut out. Something needs to be cut away. Something needs to end so that you could build your life in a better direction. So that's what I'm seeing for September. There's still love here. There's this beautiful, soulmate relationship. You just want to make sure that it's balanced, that you're not over-giving, that you're not taking on the full burden of the relationship, that it's reciprocal, that you're getting as much as you're giving, So if you have to set some boundaries, or you speak up about your needs, now would be a good time to do it. Now would also be a good time in September to confront any psychological issues you may have around service, around health, taking care of yourself, around relationship, why am I overgiving, or why do I feel the need to be this workaholic and not take care of myself? Why do I need to maybe try to please everyone? I have to know what I can change, and I know what I can't change. Know what I can control, and know what I can't control, what I must accept. Because you can't fix everyone, and you can't fix everything. Some things you just have to leave and walk away and say, I can't do anything. It's out of my hands. So there's joy and there's support here. You have the 3 of Cups, which means you have a support network. You have people around you that care about you, that are there for you. So they're going to be, they can help you during this transition, because I feel like you're going through some kind of transition. You've got the 7, you've got the 5s of instability, and the major change of the Tower. But you do have this strong, loving connection. So hold on to that. Reach out for the support that you have surrounding you. And don't be afraid of change. It's going to lead you to a better life, or a new life, where you're going to feel a lot freer. Freer to be you, lighter, not having this heavy burden. So that is my message for September, Libra. And I wish you luck and love, and I wish you strength to go through the changes and go through them with excitement, not anticipation or dread. Because there's something wonderful at the outcome, at the end of the road. The Tower never takes away anything that you need. It's actually clearing the way so that better things can come in. So, and if you'd like to have a private reading with me, you can just go to my website at tarotbyt.com, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, enjoy your September. For some of you, at the end of September, it might be a birthday. Happy birthday. And I will talk to you again in October. Okay, thanks. Bye now.